Hi, welcome to my shop again. Today we're going to do a square edge bowl. Take some of the little challenges of doing that. Okay, let's get started. So I've got a significant amount of color contrast here that I wanted to capture, so my design decisions were a lot because of the color and the character of this wood. I decided to make the square edge bowl. So I'm going to put this on as I always do between centers and prepare for my glue block. One of the advantages of starting between centers is I can orient this axis and make sure that all four of these corners are going to be perfect in their position on the circumference, as well as the tilt and the axis of them, so that these four corners will be equally presenting themselves in the top of the bowl. You just need to chew these corners up, and so I'm going to do that real lightly. I positioned it so that it's running pretty true anyway, but need to clean them up. This is going to be the top corner edge of my bowl, so I'm just going to use a shear scraping cut, lower the handle, and kind of use the tool rest as a straight edge to come all the way out to the corner. Very light cuts, so I don't need to take a whole lot of wood away. So now let's get this, we're going to get this backside waste wood out of the way and prepare for our holding method with our glue block. Okay, I put Cindy's light here on the back of my tool rest just so that I can see this profile right here that I've got to come out from the bowl shape all the way out to the four corners with a nice sweeping arc. So I'm going to lower my handle and use a shear scrape and very gently take that little bit of wood away at the corner there. I don't want to take the corner off, just want to clean it up. It's very difficult to see that wavy edge when there's only one little four corners spinning around there, and you can hear the wood's way out here and it's very hard to see, so I put a bright light on it so that you can see it from that angle. I need to see it from inside where I'm going to make my cut, but that corner right there is the important one that I don't want to invade and want to protect that corner. I only want to turn on the inside and not hit that corner, so I need to be able to see it. So I'm just going to do this in stages, so I don't make it thin and vibrate. Take a little bit out here, line my bevel up with the outside surface. This one has a little notch in it yet, so I need to make this a little bit thinner. I want to make it a little thinner anyway. So thinking in stages, thinking in fractions, I want to make this a little bit thinner, by, maybe 25% of that. So that's going to be my last cut. I'm going to go sharpen, get a brand new tool, edge, so I don't have to sand it much. I'm going to line up the bevel with that existing surface first. Come back out, move it over about 1/16 of an inch. Take one more pass, and we'll be done with that stage. Line up the bevel first, touch the heel, nothing happens, get a little whisk of a shaving going. There it is. Now I know it's lined up. I'm going to bring it all the way out now, move it over, take another cut. Slow pace across the surface. With a brand new sharp edge. Now we just continue on, take another stage. This is the weakest spot and the hardest spot, so the next stage is going to be a little bit easier. Still want to take a relatively small stage because there's still wings here, lots of air spaces going by. If I take too big of a stage, the wood's going to flex and vibrate. Nice and uniform. Take one more cut. I'll go sharpen. Woohoo! How sweet is that? All right. I can make my stage a little bit longer now because I've got support, not 4 wings. Line up the bevel with the previous stage. There's a little whisk of a shaving. Proceed forward. Just pretend that little shoulder doesn't exist. And down into solid wood, makes it nice and easy. Few little tool marks there where I transitioned between stages, but those little tool marks aren't big enough to write home about. That will sand away really easy, like with maybe 150, 180 sandpaper. Boom, that's going to be gone. But look at that surface left behind. No torn out grain. You can see there's a little branchlet going through here where the grain is all going every which way. Nothing torn out. It's clean, clean, clean. Supported fibers slicing downhill with 45-degree twist to my tool so that there's no torn out grain. That's the nightmare to have to sand out. This stuff is easy to sand away. All right. I can't measure this, so I'm going to just have to flow that contour into a nice bowl shape because there's no measurement behind it. I got a shape that I want. It's going to be a continuous arc to the bowl. Okay, we're going right into end grain here, so that's why we need a brand new sharp tool. And I don't want to have to sand any torn out grain here. So all the ducks in line. There's my little whisk of a shaving. I'm lined up with that existing surface. I'm going to continue that line right on through. Slow pace across the surface, sharp tools, 45-degree slicing action. End up in the middle. All right. How'd we do? Woo! Nailed it. All right. Here's the finished piece. It's got some really nice red color in it. I don't know if that's going to stay, but when I put a finish on it, hopefully that's going to pop. But this is unsanded. We still have it on the glue block so that I can sand it. Once it gets dry, it's too wet to sand right now. So we'll be back when we get it sanded. Okay, all the sanding done. Nice and smooth and finished. And now we're just going to take off the waste wood we had that was underneath the glue block and finish this little bottom area, and we'll be done. Okay, transition into the highest spot of the wobble. It's wobbling because it dried out and it's not running true. So that's nice and clean. I'll have a little tool mark over here that'll sand out really easy. But take it into the high spot of the wobble here. If I take this down to a point where this goes away, then I'm going to have a divot here. So it's easy to sand that little tool mark away. See if we can find it on the other side. Yeah, there it comes, little tool mark on the other side. It's easy to sand that away rather than having a shape defect on this side. So really nice there. All right, we'll clean this up where it's going to sit on the table. I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm going to make a dome in the bottom that kind of matches the shape of the inside. The highest spot of the bottom is going to be in the middle, where normally we make the highest, the lowest spot in the bottom, the middle. It still is not going to sit on the table and wobble there. It's going to be inside of the foot where it's going to sit on the table here and then go down in and have a dome on it. So I'm going to take a spindle gouge and make that little bead on the outside of the rim here, on the outside of the foot. Nice curved line. All right. So now from there, from the center out to that, I gotta try to make a little bit of a dome. All right, we got her all sanded up and finished. Who would have thought that I would end up with a piece that I could call my part of my figurative series with the grain orientation and a little navel there. Kind of turned out cool. All right. Okay, thanks for watching. Want to make you aware that I'll be doing this project live and interactive over the internet. We'll be doing a Zoom interactive remote demonstration, and 2.5 hours compared to this small little clip for YouTube. So there'll be a lot more information on how I get through the whole process. Live and interactive, you can ask questions and we can chat along the way. So see my website for details on how to register for the online class. That will be April 7th, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. I will be doing a whole variety of topics on the internet, so keep a lookout on my website for things in the future, and we'll see you next time. Keep in touch.